was really disappointed I didn't get to see Shan Mountain when I went to Yunnan, because I've heard a lot of very impressive and beautiful descriptions about it. And I think the Bai people have lots of stories about how the clouds are often changing. So sometimes they're as thin as silk, and sometimes they're as dark as ink. So of all the 19 peaks, there are streams and waters in between each peak, and the mountains just give it incredibly beautiful scenery. So I really want to go back sometime in the future and check it out.
I already have a vision in my head.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
And then if we were going to leave Dali, we'd go maybe south?
Yeah, the travel some 27 kilometers south of Dali, you will come to a popular beauty spot known locally as the Butterfly Spring. Situated at the foot of Mountain Shenmeng, the first of the peaks of Mountain Tangshan, the spring rises to form a square-shaped pool. The pool is some 50 square meters over, and above it is a famous butterfly tree. So cold as in the short fall, as spring turns to summer, its fragrant blossoms attract thousands of butterflies.
So, like, what I saw when I went was that the butterflies are barely distinguishable from the flowers which surround them. So you've got all these different colours of the rainbow, and the Bai people kind of meet together, and it's called the butterfly meet, right? Every April 15th, is that right?
Yeah.
So I actually wasn't there at the time, but I saw a video when I did travel there, and it's kind of like the mating festival we were talking about earlier, where they come together to try and find the spouse for the rest of their lives, or their partner. After there, we could probably go on to Lijiang, right?
Lijiang. Well, I know that place is probably the most famous in Yunnan province.
And it is my favorite place in Yunnan.
Wow.
It's kind of like a fairyland, that's what they call it, right? So Lijiang is located at the hub of Tibet, Yunnan, and Sichuan provinces. So it's really quite in the center of those three areas. And it's quite a good place to go, and then move on from there.
Yeah, and the Lijiang is a main region inhabited by Naxi group, one of China's 55 minority ethnic groups. In its long history, the local residents have established their splendid Dongba culture, which has observed aspects of the culture of Tibet and the central plains along the middle and lower reaches of the Yellow River. From the Tang Dynasty, Lijiang has been an important stop along an important trade route, a tea-horse trading route, just as famous as the Silk Road. Lijiang has the best preserved ancient town in China, the old town which has been listed in the World Cultural Heritage by UNESCO in 1997. The Lijiang Old Town is built along the line of mountains and the flows of rivers, providing a very precious sample of the research on the old-time architecture. The unique geographical location, historic background, and the multiracial inhabitants make the town the most special one. The old town is the only one city built without a city wall. The old town of Lijiang is a city depends on water for existence, and water is just like blood.
Yeah, I know the old town of Lijiang is very famous, and many people go to that place and take a lot of beautiful pictures.
There's an old saying actually that if you're walking around Lijiang and the old town, then you should walk in the opposite direction to the river, so you won't get lost. And you can find souvenirs anywhere around Square Street, especially the accessories marked with the Dongba hieroglyphs. And these are kind of extremely local ones that you should make sure you maybe pick up one or two, bring them home as presents.
Okay, I will.
Looking from the Lijiang Old Town in the south, which is 15 kilometers away, the snow-covered and four-in-length mountain resembles a jade dragon lying in the clouds, which is Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. Its landscape includes one of the southernmost glaciers in the modern world. About half of China's plant species originated in Yunnan province, and Jade Dragon Snow Mountain is home to about half of this, including trees, flowers, and medical herbs and plants.
And I think if you want to know more about the agriculture in Yunnan province, you should probably check on the internet, because BBC once produced a series of TV documentaries talking about Yunnan province. It's so amazing.
I love the mysticism of the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, and the local Naxi people. It's an extremely holy place for them. It is kind of an avatar for the Sanduo god, and a long time ago, it was a place for young lovers to come and sacrifice themselves in honor of true love. So back to the butterfly love story we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, etc. It's these recurring themes of love and anguish in Chinese history. It's quite interesting.
Mhm.
So you went there like maybe 9 years ago, right? So
Yeah, and unlike the usual taking cable cars to the mountain, I just rode a horse with local Nashi people. It was a fantastic experience. And don't forget, last time we mentioned the altitude sickness happened in Sichuan. Also need to be careful in the Jade Dragon Mountain. And have you heard the Shangri-La before?
Shangri-La. Yeah,
Mm,
I remember-
yeah.
香格里拉, is that it?
Shangri-La, yeah.
I remember I
Famous.
read this in the English book when I was in middle school. Shangri-La is Eden in dream. Since it first appeared in British novelist James Hilton's Lost Horizon in the 1939, it has been associated with the mystic of a place which could not possibly exist here on Earth. In Tibetan, Shangri-La means the sun and moon in heart, an ideal home only found in heaven. There is a lofty and continuous snow mountain, endless grasslands, steep and grand gorges, and the lakes and the traditional villages always leave a deep impression on visitors.
And I think it's located at the point where Tibet, Sichuan, and Yunnan all meet. So Shangri-La County is kind of like an autonomous prefecture of Tibet. So
Yeah.
in the past it was called Zhengdian or Tian in Tibetan. So in 2002 Zhengdian changed its name to Shangri-La, and since then that's how it's been known.
Okay, and since you have been to Yunnan before, I'm gonna give you a small test.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a very famous saying in Yunnan province. It's called the 18 oddities of Yunnan province. Have you ever heard about that?
Yeah, I remember the name, but
Maybe
I
not
can't
all.
remember the content.
Not all 18 of them anyway.
Okay, and here I have an English version of the 18 oddities. I'm gonna tell you the title of each oddities, and you make a wild guess what is it about. Is that okay?
Okay. So what is the reward for getting all of these right?
I guess I can praise you as the most smart guy here in this room. Is that okay?
Well, since I'm the only guy, I think I can take that.
Yeah,
very
you are
clever.
right. Okay, let's get started. The first one, I only picked some of them, okay? The first one is young girls called old lady. Can you believe that? If you call a young girl an old lady in Ireland, I think they would beat you.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't go down well. My guess is that it has something to do with wishing them kind of good fortune. So if they're going to grow old, then they're going to be fortunate and happy in the rest of their life.
Wow, you are simply a genius.
Well, I only got one right so far, so let's not go crazy.
Okay, this is a custom that has developed over the recent year. It's called the old lady custom. So unmarried girls aged between 14 and 18 years old are called old lady. This is said to wish her good health by promoting intimacy and goodwill. So you are right, the first one. And the second one is straw hats used as cooker covers. Can you guess what is it? Straw hats used as cooker covers. Come on,
Put the hat as a
cooker cover. But how can you do that? Can you use your hats as the cooker covers?
Well, I
It's
guess-
so
I can't
unbelievable.
imagine.
When they come home, they take them off and they put them on top of you.
But why can you use your hat as the cooker cover?
Well,
You can.
it's got to
right?
be a special kind of hat, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So the hardworking and honest countrymen weave everyday necessities such as shoes, fans, hats, baskets, and cooker covers with bamboo and paddy stems. So, which means they use the same way to weave the hats and the cooker cover. Okay, and the next one is about weather. Rain here but sunny there. It's very simple. Rainy here and but sunny there.
Oh, it just means I think the weather changes a lot.
Yeah, Yunnan possesses a climate as challengeable as a case face, since rain and wind come and go without one knowing. So even in the same area, one often says rain here and says sunshine in the other place. I think this is quite similar to the weather here, right? Yeah.
You definitely can drive from place to place in Ireland and leave the rain and enter the sun. Absolutely,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the next one is a little bit different. It's called bamboo used as smoking pap.
Smoking pep?
Yeah, smoking pap. Fiachra, you mentioned that before. You asked me before whether Yunnan people smoke a lot. And my answer is yes, definitely yes.
I think they hollow out the bamboo shoots, right, and they smoke tobacco or maybe some other stuff in there.
Yeah. A smoking bag is also called tobacco tube, which is typically local smoking tool used mostly in Yunnan, Guizhou, and Sichuan province. It is half 1 meter long, while its diameter varies from 5 to 10 centimeters. People put cut tobacco on the bamboo tube, the lower part of which is filled with water and smoked.
So it's a bamboo bong.
Yeah, that's it. A gurgling sound is heard when one smokes from the mouth of the bamboo tube. People said brave and struggling army of the past days carried tobacco tubes on their backs to the front line in the anti-Japanese war. You know what? The enemies mistook such smoking tool for a new type of weapon and were horrified. Yeah, and therefore the army won the name of the army with double guns.
Wow. That was ingenious.
Yeah. So, Sir, I have to tell you, Fiachra knows more about the 18 oddities than you, even though you are a Chinese.
Oh, it makes me feel ashamed.
Well, China's so big, you can't know everything.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's all for today's traveling tips, and thanks for Fiachra and Si. Now let's enjoy a traditional Yunnan song.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Okay, that's all for today's Hello China. Don't forget to have your say at hellochina@dublincityfm.ie. See you next week. Good night.